Welcome all. I'm starting very serious. It's episode 33 of Fab Life with Lauren and Lee. Firstly, I'm back, bitches. I am.
Welcome.
Thank you. We will get on to the whole situation of me being away.
The stories to come.
The
that
drama.
Story.
The drama.
So much drama.
But yes, it's episode 33. Welcome new listeners as well.
Yeah.
We've had a boost in numbers.
We've had a bit of a spike.
I'm a little bit worried. It's because I wasn't here last week.
It was the Lauren and Dee.
I was like, oh. Lauren sent me a little text being like, oh, we've had a boost of numbers this week. I thought, this is the worst news I could hear all week.
Since the foot.
Sorry. Second worst news.
Second worst now. Oh.
So we got to get the elephant out of the room.
Come on.
Well, Lauren, I'm going to say this right now. She could cry this episode.
I'm really nervous that I'm going to cry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it weird I'm a bit excited about it, which is clickbait.
Yeah.
Post breaks down in tears over death of Angela Lansbury.
Come on, we might finally get on Mail Online.
Oh, you talk yourself. I've been in there twice, darling.
All right.
Jilted Lover.
Jilted Lover's podcast co-host. Cries over Angela Lansbury's death.
I've been on the Mail Online. I've got the abuse from the trolls on those comment sections. Yes, thank you. Failing comedian tries to jumpstart his career by selling a story, as if I approached them saying, I've got a scoop for you. Anyway, very sad news.
Oh, it's so sad. Well, do you know what happened?
Very unexpected. She was so young.
I know, so young. Well, I did say to my brother, I was like, how did she die? I was on the phone and he was like, what do you mean, how did she die? She was 96. I was like, oh, well, Freddie took a picture of me and then he sent it to me saying, I was in the other room and my phone went and I was like prepping for a Jolly Sticks event. So I'm like, getting all my bags in the bag and all that jazz. And my phone goes and it's my brother and I'm like, it's like 10 o'clock here. A bit worrying, isn't it? You know, when I met a family member.
Someone's died.
Honestly, it was like a family member had died. So I was like, you all right? And I'm like, come on, what do you want me for? And I was like, it's better. And he was like, have you seen the news? And I was like, no, why? What's happened? And I thought, we're
getting nuked.
Yeah. That was like the first thing I thought. Like, because, you know, like, it's never often bad enough for someone to call, is it? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I had seen a bulletin pop up on my phone, but I wasn't really looking. And he was like, oh no. And you could hear the dread in his voice because he was going to have to tell me. And he went, Angela Lansbury's died. And he was really sad. And my brother's really mean, you know, classic sibling, like he always winds me up all the time. And I was like, are you joking?
Oh, I'm going to cry.
I know. And I was like, and he was like, no, it's just come up on the news. And I was like, oh, how did she die? And then that's when he said, she's 96, like in a sleep. And then his girlfriend was like, in a sleep, I've just found out, tell her it's okay. Like,
oh, I've just found out. What? Did they do the autopsy?
I know, they must have. Katie, that's a side hustle. No, she works in hobbycraft actually, but that's not ever a joke. She does. Yeah. So then Freddie took a picture of me because I was like, I'm gonna cry, but he'd obviously just seen it on his phone. But he wanted to be like, I want to, you know, he sent it to me being like, where were you when Angela Lansbury died?
Oh.
I know, so sad. Such an icon, and obviously my phone was blowing up.
Oh, I know.
Like, I don't get that many texts on my birthday.
I'm just going to point out we might be able to hear some background music.
Yeah, this is not the music we picked to talk about this. It would have been Mame or Gypsy. Do you know what I mean?
This is like underscoring. It's like there's some sort of rave going on downstairs. We're in this, for anyone who doesn't know, well, you might watch on YouTube, but let's describe this studio. This is our studio space.
It's like a container. Well, it is a container.
It's like a shipping container.
Yeah, and they've turned it into
walk up to. And
studio.
our lovely producer Roman has just run out of the room. Bless him, I just glared at him because I could hear.
But even he was like,
what? And he was like, what the hell's going on? We will introduce Roman very shortly. But there's some sort of like blaring music going on.
Was it Wednesday night last time and there was that quiz on?
I know, but that was at like 7 p.m. and we're recording this on a Wednesday at 5:30.
We are drinking mojitos, so
mojitos.
Mojitos.
Oh, it's gone down a little bit. Roman must have had a word.
And he'd just gone down to tell him to turn it off.
I know, they're being absolute ludicrous. So if you heard a little bit of noise bleed through
it wasn't us being rude about Angela Lansbury's death. We would have picked something musical for you.
Absolutely not. And it's actually going to be a little bit awkward now if they didn't hear a thing and we've just pointed it out anyway. But yes, no, so, well, this is probably a good time to actually introduce Roman. Every time we seem to have a different producer.
Yes, we've got a shout
it's
out on the pod.
We're
love
meeting
to get
all
good
these
feedback.
new people.
Or maybe they're just not coming back. That's
maybe. Well, it is starting to get a little bit worrying, isn't it? It's like,
Mooch is churning out these.
Have I got some
not
sort of
back.
like hashtag Me Too thing that's going to creep up on me, where they're like, yeah, no one wants to work with Lee.
Yeah. Watch this.
He's handsy.
It's after a couple of these mojitos.
Please welcome Roman. Let's give a little
round
of applause for Roman.
I'll be honest, I haven't had one of those in a long time. Been bombing at gigs.
Thanks for sorting the music out, the rave out downstairs.
Very quickly you sorted that. You whipped out the room and we were going to carry on, but I thought we were going to have to mention it because poor Lauren was doing a monologue about Angela Lansbury and all we could hear was like smack my bitch up in the background or something. I thought this is not what she would have wanted.
We're going to get trolled for that, being disrespectful, from all my fangelas that follow me. That's what we're called. We're called fangelas.
Oh, a little bit near the knuckle. Fange.
I know, fangela.
Because I think... Isn't fange what some people would call a fanny?
No, flange.
Oh, flange.
Yeah.
Isn't that like sponge cake?
Flan.
Ah, flan.
We're learning so many words today.
Anyway, no. Do you know what? So I was actually performing at Britain's Got Talent, the ultimate magician. I can't say too much about it. I'm not a magician. I was doing the warm-up in Birmingham.
Oh, my God.
And so I was warming up the crowd for this big special called The Ultimate Magician that they're doing
cool.
at Christmas.
I love a bit of magic as well.
Oh, me too. And so I was on and off loads. It was very stop-starty, very difficult. And during a lot of the acts, I could just kind of turn my phone on and I was turning it on to check whether the producer had messaged me about anything or whatever.
Yeah.
Breaking news alert comes up. Angela Lansbury. And it is sad. She is the epitome of a legend.
She is. Did you see the tweet by Matthew Bourne? He put it like perfectly because he said like the word legend was made for people like her. She passed through like theatre, TV, film. She was nominated for an Oscar at 19, her first film role. She has the record for most Emmy nominations.
Does she?
And she never won.
Oh.
The Murder, She Wrote. I think she got a Lifetime Achievement Award and she got a Lifetime Oscar.
Yeah, she's definitely an EGOT, surely.
And she's not got a Grammy. But she has the record for most Tonys as well.
Because didn't she get nominated for an Oscar at like age 19 or something?
Yeah, it was Gaslight.
Oh.
You know, Gaslight, where
everyone's like, where Gaslight comes from.
But Angela Lansbury is in that I've got it on DVD.
Oh.
It's a hard watch, actually, because...
Well, it will be more so now.
Yeah.
For you.
And me. Well, she's not very nice in that, actually. She's like...
Now that Gaslight's gone out.
Oh, God. Don't. It's so sad.
It might come back on. She might be cremated.
Yeah. At least you got me laughing about it, Lee.
Sorry, I've got to, because it's very awkward.
You have? We're not used to seeing each other sad either, because neither of us cry very much. So when the other one does, we're always a bit like, oh.
You'll be fine.
We've got mojitos.
Yeah, I've got to... Well, I nearly cried on the way here. I thought I'll bring Lauren some, a gin in a tin.
Yeah.
And I had got some in the fridge. It was my travel gins,
Posh,
for when
posh brand.
Yeah, I picked up a few gins and tins, had them in the fridge because I thought if you're ever travelling, on the tube, if it's a 5-minute journey, you can have a quick
Always
gin.
have one in the bag is my advice.
Well, I packed them in my little tote bag and I was looking at them and then what did I see on them? 0.5%. They're non-alcoholic.
That's not going to get me through, Lee. That's not going to get me through.
That
this
would have
tough
sent
time.
you over the edge.
Yeah, it would have. Do you know what I mean?
You'd have slapped me across the face.
I would have. Also, my Murder, She Tote bag.
Oh, yes. Show it to the camera.
Oh, my God.
This is a tote bag. For anyone listening, I'm going to describe it. There's a tote bag that I bought Lauren, and it says, Murder, She Tote. Look at that.
How good is that? And it's like illustrations of Ange on the...
It's faded, which I guess is ironic in a way.
I know. Well, that happened this week.
Why do I keep making jokes about it?
I built a bag of flour. There was a hole in my bag of flour from the shot. Fuming. So I had to put it in the wash, and then it didn't wash out, so I put it on a hot wash. But I kind of like the faded.
Thanks for that breaking news.
I know. Guys, hot wash your tote bags, okay?
Don't worry, guys. She's her head's gone.
My head is gone.
She's not in the right
and
place.
then I haven't allowed myself to cry because you feel like a fucking idiot. Like, I didn't know this woman.
Well, I was going to talk about this actually because, it is sad. It's not sad because she is 96.
Yeah.
But it's sad in a way that I was trying to think about this, and I was thinking, in a way, she represented something. So it's like the end of that representation of kind of just an iconic person, like the type that you don't see again. You'll never see that kind of that role.
I think that's why it's been so shared as well. I saw news things on the Lighty Up. Oh my God, I can't even talk. When you're at the bus stop and there's that they show breaking news.
Yeah.
She was on them even, and it's just she's such an icon.
It's just kind of like the Hollywood, the glitz, the glamour, the Broadway star. And also I kind of thought I defy anyone to say Angela Lansbury and them to reply, oh, I'm not keen on her.
Yeah.
Everyone liked her.
She's just so lovable. And if you met her, she'd be really nice. I think that's what you thought you knew her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you see interviews with her or hear other people talk about her, she's just so fab. So I felt like I couldn't really cry, but I was there was a sadness about me last night before bed. And I was holding back the cry, and I was like, oh God. And then when I got in today, Freddie had got me a bottle of nice gin and a big pastry, and he'd just written a little card that said, "Here's to Angela."
Oh,
and then that just sent me over there because someone was so nice to me about
it's kindness.
I will read one. Honestly, the amount of messages on and Fab Lifers messaging, thanks so much. And so many Fab Lifers, because Hun culture, they love Ange, don't they?
Of course they love Ange.
When she's been mentioned before, everyone's like, oh, I love Angela as well. I'm going to read this, but it's going to make me sad. But an old friend from school, Melissa, she listens every week.
Hi, Melissa.
So I haven't seen her in 20 years or something. But she just sent me a thing, and it made me feel better for feeling sad about someone I don't know. Do you know?
Validated your feelings.
Yeah, it did. She validated my feelings. And she put, thought of you as soon as I heard, hope you're okay. Sometimes those we've never met play a massive part in our lives, and it's incredibly painful to lose them.
Oh.
I'm going. And I was like, that's exactly how I feel.
Yes, Melissa, that is.
And I was just validated. And I also was kind of put laughing emojis on the end of stuff. Oh, guys, I'm going.
Oh, she's going.
She's going.
Oh.
I was putting laughing emojis on the end of oh yeah, I'm so gutted, laugh. But then I was I'm trying to make a joke out of the fact that I'm crying over someone I never knew.
Oh no, it's not, because she was your icon.
She's going to get my hanky out.
Oh, good Lord. Can we play that beat bopping music again and bring the mood back up?
Roman's going to be asking not to come in this one.
They're going to be like, Roman, how was the podcast? Well, the girl started crying and the guy just started making weird jokes about a 96-year-old woman being cremated.
So how many producers have you looked on?
It's not me, the producer crying.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh no,
you're
right to cry. Let it out, darling.
I once met her actually.
Want to break or no?
No, I'm fine. Because I know it's really a wee oh, she's gone.
No, it's lovely.
And like you said before, she could have been dead this whole time and I never would have known any difference because I don't see her. You don't see her. Do you know what I mean? But she just means so much to so many people.
I think it's the representation and
totally.
Yeah, it was a bit like the Queen, and I know people had mixed feelings about that, but she was a constant.
She was a constant.
She was a constant for you. But the great thing is, Murder, She Wrote will rerun and rerun.
Well, it's been on every day for the last 20 years.
I mean, that's a constant.
Yeah.
You only have to change over to whatever
Living
USA. TV. Is Living TV a
No, I miss Living TV.
Me too.
It used to show some really good
shit.
Now,
I did cry when that went.
Did you? It kind of merged into everything else, didn't it? Like ITVB, Sky One or whatever. You're like, just bring back Living, Will and Grace every day at lunchtime.
Your text from your friend Melissa has set you off, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I knew it would, but I just wanted to show that, I am upset about it.
Well, yeah, you should be.
And I went online and bought a little Murder, She Wrote, a different one where it's I'll show it, I'll put it on the gram when it arrives. Etsy sellers supporting small businesses. All those people who do 90s TV sleuths are going to be raking it in this week from everyone buying the merch.
Yeah.
But cheers to
Here's
Angela
to
Lansbury.
Ange. Raise a glass or a tin.
Yeah.
You'll be pleased to know if you are listening, I have replaced the tins with actually alcoholic ones.
10% vol. I'm happy now.
Heat out. Now, so I wasn't here last week, and I would like to give a big shout out to David for stepping in last minute. It's the first I've ever missed.
I know.
Can you believe it?
1-1 now.
I know. Well, at least yours was planned as well. I had time to find someone. Mine was like the night before.
Well, I'd ask if you knocking on the door because you can't have a thing with these on.
Yeah, because there was a chance that I would have made it, but no, alas, I didn't. I was cooped up in St Mary's Hospital, getting an IV drip. I mean, if you want to see my arm, look at my arm. If you can see on the.
It looks like a kiss. It looks like the kiss emoji.
I know, it does look like the kiss emoji, actually. No one's been bloody kissing it, I tell you that. I've got a massive bruise on my arms. Been having IV drips. I don't think I've ever had to, well, I might have had
Is it just because it goes in quicker?
I think it's because she prodded and poked everything. Basically, I had to have 3 IV drips. Long story short, I got an infection in my foot, okay? And I ended up with cellulitis, which was just disgusting.
Danger
it's
zone
like
as well, right?
massive. It was like I had this kind of massive fat foot.
Henry VIII foot.
Henry VIII. It was like I'd got gout.
You were like, that booze is catching up on me.
I know. And anyway, I had to have oral antibiotics, and they didn't really work. And basically, cellulitis can lead to sepsis. So,
well, I was saying this last week to Phoebe. I saw her shortly in here, a previous producer. Jodie Foster's in there.
Oh. Here's Ange.
Before you chased her away, see?
I bet Cher's going to the funeral.
Oh, yeah.
Similar in age.
Do you think she'll sing?
No, she can't.
No.
She'd put a
Wrong
lisp
tone.
on Gypsy, wouldn't she? And it'd just be really, really weird.
Everything's coming up roses.
Be a bit strange, wouldn't it? Ma'am. Oh, that'd be quite a good one for her.
Tell us all the tale.
I can't listen to Tales all the
I've
time.
listened.
I can't listen to that. I'll be in bits. Can't listen to it. But yeah, we were saying...
Roman, cue it up.
This is what the Fab Lifers want to see and hear. Me crying. Yeah, we should learn sepsis, like the signs of sepsis, because it kills you in 30 minutes, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. So anyway, it didn't lead to that. Luckily, I caught it early, but the antibiotics weren't working, and so I had to go to A&E for 7 hours. Waited at A&E, and anyway, I had to have IV drips, but they were going to leave the cannula in.
Oh, you can't be showering with that the next day.
Well, it's not that. One of the afternoons I went, I was like, I've got a gig tonight. I was going straight from the hospital to the gig on my bloody
something to talk about, though, isn't it?
Imagine me walking on stage. I mean, I just said I can't do it. So that is why they've put it in like every vein.
Because they had to keep redoing it.
Yeah. So it's all battered and bruised. Anyway, I'm absolutely fine.
Thank God. We were worried, weren't we?
Well, I just was like, oh God, yeah. It is fine. I mean, I was in pain. I was able to go to work and everything, which was quite good, but cellulitis is not fun. And then he scared the living daylights out of me because he basically suggested that someone of my age and someone as fit as me. I was like, please stop flirting.
Just get me on Grindr later. This is not the place,
No,
doctor.
I really fancied him. I didn't even see his full face because he was in PPE. But we had this weird connection. I don't know if it was
Tell
just
by the
me.
eyes.
Tell by the eyes. He had such kind eyes. He actually wants to be a stand-up. He was telling me he wants to start
Sounds
doing
like
stand-up.
a pickup line, if you ask me.
Yeah, I gave him a few places for new material night, which may or not been my postcode. No,
Knock, knock, knock.
I actually recommended Vauxhall.
Oh my
And he was like,
God.
I've seen some nights there at Vauxhall, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, anyway. So he then suggested that I could have immune deficient, something wrong with my immune system.
Immunity,
so
yeah.
that's where the flirting ended. And suggested diabetes. It's not that. Suggested HIV. Scared me to death. It's not that.
Yeah.
Turns out that they think they're having a lot of younger people get cellulitis, and they think it might
I'd
be
never heard of it.
post-COVID complication.
Shit.
Now, whether or not they're just saying that for everything, like you stub your toe, you're like,
they see a rise in
COVID.
one thing, but it could be a generation.
But
whatever.
Does make you think.
Does make you think. Shit. Watch out for cellulitis, millennials.
But how was it? Was it weird doing it without me?
It was weird.
Did you miss me?
Did you miss little old me? Cher's back. Yeah, I miss you so much.
Wow, you had to think about that for a while there, Lauren, didn't you? Maybe we'll edit that long pause out.
Or make it longer. Really slow that down. Yeah, it was weird. And we had a new producer yet again. So he didn't know us. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it was one who'd had us before, he could have been like, oh, this is what it's like. Yeah. But David was fab. He's a performer.
He was fab. Thank you for stepping in.
And I knew he was going to be great because obviously I hadn't seen him in years. But I know he listens to the pod for one. And he lives south, so I was like, he can always like jump on, because it was very last minute, obviously, very like scraping together a co-host. And you want someone who's got like mic experience and, you know, got a rapport with
no mean feat. I know we make it look like we just arrive here and talk shit and leave, but there is a lot of planning. I went to Waitrose before this to buy these cocktails. That is how planned this is.
I was pinching my own leg to make them tears
come. No, I know, you were so good. You were rubbing vapor rub off camera under your eyes.
Can't make it go away now.
Do that?
No, I never had to.
We didn't.
So that was the trick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Oh,
they have tear sticks now on like some TV shows. Oh yeah, not all of them cry. I tell you who does cry.
Amy Walsh.
Amy bloody Walsh.
She does. She can cry on cue. That girl.
Yeah. The director half the time is probably like, we're not actually rolling right now. And
this is it's a wedding scene. Amy meant to be really happy. She's a great crier.
She's a great crier.
I can't watch a lot. Lena, when she had the big, I don't watch Emmerdale. Sorry, Amy. But when she's got a big storyline, which was most of the bloody time, I'd always like jump in and like fast forward to her bits. And actually, I couldn't watch them because I was really heartbroken watching her be so sad.
Do you know what gets me actually? It's when people are trying not to cry. That's what triggers me.
Yeah, that's what got you before. I saw you well up, and then I was like, I can see you welling up, so then I'm gonna go.
And Roman wasn't at all.
And then Roman was like laughing quietly in the background.
Roman was miming, "Help me."
He was texting his boss, like, "Just come. There's an emergency.
I quit.
Come on."
I was sending SOS via Morse code.
Well, they've not come for you yet, Roman. So.
No, but big thank you to David. So I had a bit of FOMO. I wanted to talk about FOMO. Did you get FOMO?
Do you know what?
I'm going to call it POMO, podcast of missing out.
When he renamed it, I was like, Lee's.
He renamed it Fab Life with Lauren and Dee. I mean, if he'd have really had time, he could have changed the logo and put Dee. I was going to do a strike through it, but
for the
I couldn't
episode.
be asked.
Yeah, okay.
It was hurtful getting rid of my own name. It cut to the core.
Yeah, it really hurt me. I guess I do. I'd get FOMO if I wasn't doing this, but I was in London. It was different when I was on honeymoon because, like, I was away.
You didn't give a shit. You were on honeymoon, living your fab life.
Living that fab life with Lauren and Freddie. Everyone's got a rhyme, haven't they?
Maybe not be so restrictive in that because we might need.
We might run out of.
We might be like, Lydia, oh, you can't. It doesn't rhyme with E.
Sorry, good luck.
Also, who's Lydia?
I don't know. I don't know
a Lydia.
Lydia,
if you're out there.
It's like we never had that week part.
Oh, God, it all comes back together, doesn't it? It's a tale as old as time. Oh, shit, sorry, trigger.
I don't get FOMO, I don't think, but it depends what it is. But I always used to be quite good at like.
You don't get FOMO because you go to most things.
I'm always out,
Yeah.
I think that's why. And if you text me going, like, do you want to come out? Most of the time, I'll be like,
no,
I
text you saying, are you out?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
I text you.
Are you out? And you'll usually be at some beer garden.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
In the wrong part of town, actually. And we're like, oh, what are your plans?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah. And
because
I'll
when
be
you
hanging
combine,
out with the aristocrats. And you'll be, in a Weatherspoons. And we'll find out,
Cheeky bastard. No, I'll be in probably like an East End boozer or something.
You'll be in the boozer having a beer. I'll be on like a sky roof somewhere having a martini for like £25 for a small sip of it.
Oh God, that's the life. I actually went to the Savoy on Friday.
I don't know why I'm making that up because you are very fab life when you go out drinking.
Yeah, we haven't done it in a while actually because I hate to say it, cost of living crisis.
Oh,
Still recouping, aren't we all as well, from the lucky day, us freelance folk. But I went to the Savoy with my cousin on Friday, and I could not wait for that Fab Life, that first sip of that martini that's been made in the American bar in the Savoy. It's just fucking great.
Well, you remember, people listening, if you don't know, there's a place in London called the Ned.
Do you remember those nights?
Oh, I remember those nights. And the Ned is basically like a members club. It's an old bank, isn't it? And
it's part of owned by Soho House, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's for bankers. It's for banker wankers. And
they're always very loud with the ties took off, by 7
Oh, when they take those ties off the bankers, they are in for a wild night.
Long night, yeah.
Yeah, they know that they've put their order in.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about a drinks order.
Yeah.
And the tie is off.
Yeah.
And
if any bankers listen, probably
please
not.
Please give us some money.
Please donate to the pod.
Marry me. I'm happy to be married to an arsehole.
Just have an affair as well for love, That'd be nice.
But we walked in, we were sat there having drinks. You were all glammed up to the nines, and in walks the bloody manager, and he goes, right, on a Monday we do music mates.
R.I.P.
Which I know that'll set me off.
Yeah.
Because they don't do it anymore.
I know.
50% off food and drinks.
Cocktails.
Oh my God. It was fantastic. I used to take dates there.
Yeah.
Be like,
so
I get
it's
50%.
on me, and then you're like, use this, mate.
Yeah.
It was so good. They stopped doing it, didn't they?
Furious about it.
But it was
Cost of living crisis. Lizzing.
Everything's named after Queen Elizabeth now, so just everything's Lizzer, everything. Yeah.
That's everything covered.
Liver. I couldn't think of other words that had a L-I-V in it.
Living. Oh wait, we've done that.
We do not know any words today.
I'm pissed.
I'm not. I mean, I'm a bit tired, I think.
You must be dehydrated. You've been crying all episode.
Maybe I am, and it's just going straight back to replace the tears. I'm like, oh, that tear.
We're going to
10% that.
We're going to get messages. Lee, don't be so mean to Lauren, bless her. You're going to get like supportive messages.
Oh.
Our listeners are so nice.
They are so nice,
They're
actually.
so nice.
And a lot of them love Angela.
Makes me want to be nicer.
I know it does. Makes me wonder what we did to deserve it, actually. I'm still waiting for that YouTube comment. It's going to come under this one, isn't it?
What?
Being like, I don't know why you people watch this. It's shit. Because sometimes you get trolls.
No, I've banned my mum from commenting, so it's fine. She's not going to.
Les would never badmouth me, though. She'd just be
wouldn't.
like, great episode, Lauren. Lee needs work or something.
she totally would. Did I tell you about the time I entered this drama festival when I first entered, when I was about 15, and there were so many people in the local area that were doing this drama festival, and there was about 20 people who had entered, and it was my first one, and I did a monologue that was based on Hannibal Lecter.
Right.
So I used to play
classically psycho,
very, very method that week.
You're eating liver and onions for your tea every night
with a Chianti. It was lovely. And anyway, so I did this monologue, and it was quite whatever, and I came third, which was quite good for my first festival.
That's very good.
And so, the adjudicator was like, he inhabited the character. It was very, very scary, very spooky, and quite chilling, really. Fantastic performance.
Oh,
Mum would come to watch. We'd get in the car. Well, to be honest, you reminded me more of Mr. Bean. That was the feedback.
Great, that's all you got.
Great. Yeah, that's all I got.
Keep your feet on the ground, babe.
She really does.
All these years later.
So you don't get... I don't really get... Well, do I get FOMO? I love...
You did about the pod, but that's because it's your thing. I mean, your name's on it,
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
And when I saw those numbers going up, I thought, fuck it, hell. David is never coming back. No, we should have David on as a guest.
We should. Reaching for a fake chair that was
if you see that on YouTube, I went to lean on something.
It's like a Kenny Everett joke.
Oh, do you remember when that happened on that hen do that we were on that boat? And I fell through the bloody window pane, flirting with that guy. I genuinely did. A Del Boy thing, and I was just talking to this
very clean windows,
dancer, and there was a window with no pane in it, and I was like, yeah, and leant back and fell into the window. Luckily I didn't fall through it, but I kind of it
could have been worse. The Thames could have been on the edge of the boat,
yeah, walking the plank.
Oh Jesus.
It makes me want to watch Beauty and the Beast, though, going back to Angela Lansbury.
Well, my mum showed it to Rosie, my niece, who's nearly
very
2.
scary.
It is quite scary.
For
And
a
it is emotional
2-year-old.
as well. When all the come and pillaging and stuff, and then the fact that she gets taken away.
And she's showing that to Rosie.
Yeah, it's just about the songs, though, innit? Because half the time she's like playing.
Actually, she's too young now to
She's too
properly
young
take
to know
it
the
in.
story, but the songs there.
Yeah.
So yeah, my mum was like, me and your dad really enjoyed it as well.
Oh.
But we need to watch Bedknobs and Broomsticks at Christmas.
Do you know, I've never really properly
You would love it.
Well, I live on Portobello Road now.
Oh my
just
God!
given-
There's a song called Portobello Road.
There's a lot that are on there. Don't come find me near it.
Must be this one. Knock, knock, knock. No, must be this one.
Follow the scent of, Febreze and poppers. You'll find me.
You're better than that.
I know.
Breeze.
I wanted to say La Labo, but, you
Yeah.
know, man of the people.
Yeah, man of the people. It's from Cleethorpes. Keep telling yourself that. Yeah. Oh my God, you'd love it. Because she's a strong female character as well. That's why she's so fab. Because she's a witch. She's Wiccan, for one.
That is not the way to speak about someone who's
dead
died.
person.
She was not a witch.
It's not Margaret Thatcher. Do you remember when everyone sang that song?
I may be persuaded to lose the hat, but the pearls are absolutely non-negotiable. And that is the tone we wish to strike. I say to the right honourable gentleman, you turn if you want to. The lady's not for turning.
Was that when you did the second drama award? The second was that your monologue? You should not know that by
That
heart.
was. And Mum went, still a lot of Mr. Bean in you.
Getting a lot of like Darth Vader, Mr. Bean.
There was a bit of Voldemort in there. Harry Potter. No.
You got to the same place though, don't you, for certain voices?
They are inherently evil, both of them. Hannibal Lecter, Margaret Thatcher, and Voldemort.
So you do have a, consistency in all your monologues.
Thank you.
Love it. What's your other one that you do that's go to the same place? Louis Armstrong and
Macy Gray.
Macy Gray.
Macy Gray, yeah.
And you can do karaoke and you're like, oh, sorry, I've gone into the wrong one.
Yeah. So, Louis Armstrong's a bit more like... Acid rays of grace.
Yeah, and a bit lower.
It hurt to do that.
Warm up
Macy
next
Gray's
time.
more a bit like games, changes, and fees.
I see. Nice.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, we didn't have you.
Shall I do Taylor's Oldest Time as Macy Gray?
Yeah, go
Taylor's Oldest Time.
It's also with a bit of Dick Van Dyke in there. Oldest time.
True as it can be. I've lost it.
Mary Poppins. Anywho, oh my God.
It's a Taylor's Oldest Time, and it's true as it can be.
Is that Maggie?
Well, is that Maggie? It's uncanny, Lauren. Of course it's Maggie.
He's angling for his own sketch show. Someone actually told me I look like Maggie Thatcher the other day in the 50s. And I think they thought it was...
Oh my God, if it is any historical figure that you look like, we all know it's Myra Hindley.
I know, come on, get your facts right. If I cut my hair, I'm a serial killer, okay?
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I had a suit on, like matching suit, which is from the 80s. She was like, "Oh my God, I love you in this suit." She was like, "I'm getting Margaret Thatcher in the 50s vibes," and I was like, "Oh, that," and then you're like,
Did you go, oh?
yeah, because you hear like someone in the 50s, and you're like, "Yeah, sure," and then I went, Margaret Thatcher. I was like, she had matching suits. I mean, all people in Parliament have quite good suits, to be fair, but I was like, not the face.
No.
Never
That's
the
a
face.
weird thing to say.
And then afterwards, I was like, who am I going to tell? I haven't told anyone since, actually, because I was a bit embarrassed.
Well, did I ever tell you about the time I was in Boots? And my friend is obsessed with Anne Widdecombe. And I saw Anne Widdecombe in Boots.
Oh, my God.
So I was going down like the aisles and I was like, oh my God, maybe I'll go and ask Anne Widdecombe for like a little
She'd probably
video
tell you
message.
to fuck off, wouldn't she?
So I was like, I'm going to ask her to do like a video message. And I went up. I was like, I'm so sorry to have to do this. I was like, but my friend absolutely loves you. Can you just like do a message saying like, hi, this is Anne Widdecombe and blah, 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 blah. And she goes, I'm not Anne Widdecombe.
Oh, no.
I was like, What?
That is one of the worst
I
comparisons
know, mistaking her for Anne Widdecombe.
you could get.
I was like, oh, you're not?
You're not.
Are you sure?
Now we'll look at you. Yeah, you're much prettier.
Yeah, I meant Anne
Robinson. I'd much rather
she
be
was
Anne
the
Robinson.
spitting image.
Really?
But she kind of said it as if she gets it a lot.
Yeah, she must do. She must do.
If Anne Widdecombe was, more popular, she'd work as a lookalike. I don't think there's anyone going, can anyone get Anne Widdecombe lookalike? They go, no, but we have got Anne Widdecombe.
Yeah, she'll do it for the same fee.
She's available.
She'll do it for the exact same fucking fee.
Yeah. She's cheaper, actually.
Actually, just get her on Cameo. She'll be fine.
Oh, Cameo.
I bet she's on Cameo. She doesn't have any statements though, because even people who are on.
Well, that's because she's a right-wing Tory.
Twat. Oh, sorry.
Lovely synonym.
Yeah, that's the 10% vol for you.
Oh, I've got you another one here.
Yeah, please do.
I don't know how long have we done, Roman. Roman, how are you getting? Let's check in with Roman.
You're right. You're not going to quit, are you?
Should we do a jingle for check in with the producer?
Yeah, that's always the jingle, by the way, Roman, just in that voice.
Yeah, that's actually that's not a bad idea. I like that. Check in with the producer vibe.
Yeah, check in, and he's like, quit.
Got 4 letters, QUIT. Yeah, are you doing all right?
No, I'm fine. I'm enjoying watching the two of you go back and forth. This has actually been very entertaining.
Hey, do you have
he says it. He sounds almost quite surprised.
Yeah, he's a good liar, isn't he?
Someone said to me, I was in Loose Women the other day, and she goes, I said something, and she goes, yeah, you're quite fit. Quite.
You could do without that.
It's like he said, this has actually been entertaining. It's like, okay.
He's surprised. People used to do that to me in
Lots of
school
text.
when I got my used to get my results. They'd be like, "Oh, you're actually quite clever, aren't you?" So it's actually I'm quite often put together.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Well, yeah. Well, you asked the exam board because I didn't grade them. Do you know what I mean? But people just used to think I was thick.
Were you smart in school?
Yeah. Not a single
Really?
C me ever, babes.
No, I got 1 C.
Did you?
Yeah.
Never got a
What
C
did
in
you
my
get then? Never got a C in my life.
3 A's and A star and then B's.
Oh.
I know. I was really clever. I don't know where it all went.
I got a 6.
I should have done maths or something at 6th form and I just didn't.
Yeah, and my heart wasn't in it. I got 6 A's, 3 B's, and a C. And C.
That's really good.
Yeah, but I was annoyed I didn't get an A star, and I was annoyed I got a C.
What was the C in?
History.
That's what I got. I got an A in history. My A star though, English lit.
Oh.
To Kill a Mockingbird, babes.
Oh.
Didn't even read the whole book.
No.
I just picked a different question to everyone else. You know, when you come out the exam and you go, which one did you do for? And everyone's comparing it. And I was like, oh, I obviously did A because there's so much to write about with that. And I was like, oh, I did C. And then you're like, fuck, I fucked it.
I remember in one of my mock exams, the teacher told me to... they pulled me into the staff room or whatever, and they were like, okay, Lee, you make some really valid points, but she was like, it's almost like you're trying to make jokes, asides. So I'd write in my exam something like and then she fell down into the hole, brackets, chance to be a fine thing, or something stuff like that. I was trying to just...
You've been doing new material open mic nights since you've been writing essays.
Yeah. Or I'd do a dash and be like... one can only dream, dash, and then go back into it. And because I used to think, if the adjudicator's laughing along, they'd enjoy it more. And she was like, as entertaining as this is, it doesn't make any sense.
I've forgotten that it's actually about Henry VIII, this one. So,
I've got hey, if I've been through what he went through, I wouldn't have got a C in history.
No.
That gout. It wasn't gout. I love that last week, the episode, you were like, introing Lee has a club foot.
Did I? I didn't think after. I was like, and then I texted you and you were we chatted on the phone after, and I was really worried and I was like, oh God, I think I said something awful. You can't remember what you've said, can you? And I was like, definitely introduced it as in you had a gammy awful foot.
Yeah, well, I did kind of.
Yeah, but thank God them test results came back clear.
Oh, I know.
Otherwise, people be trolling me on the YouTube.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
You'd have to find someone called Warren.
Oh, yes, very good.
Warren and D. Lauren and Lee.
Yeah. Well, maybe it'll be Warren and D now. We'll be done.
Because your foot would be so bad.
Yeah.
You couldn't get all them stairs to get in here.
Anyway, it has made me want to go and watch Beauty and the Beast, I have to say, which I think is... what is your favourite Disney film?
That's up there, actually. That I actually had in about, when did it come out? Maybe like 96, 98? Can't remember. But I got this special for Christmas, and it was, because of the book. There's always a book in a Disney film. And it was this big purple box, and you opened it up, and it had the VHS in it, the making of VHS, the soundtrack, and then another CD. It could have been like forgotten tracks or something. And then the rose in the middle of it. Oh. How cool is that?
So cool.
It was like a collector's item, and then my dad spilled a cup of tea on it. Oh, it had the book in it as well.
I think an underrated one is Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, excellent.
And I tell you what, there's a part for you in that you'd be perfect for.
I'm not sure I could pull off the black hair, to be honest.
I'm not saying who.
You little bitch.
I said it to Adam the other day, who listens, I want to say friend of the pod, frenemy of the pod.
Troll of the pod.
Yeah. I said, I'm listening to Beauty and the Beast, and I tell you something, there is a part perfect for you, Adam. I went, I'm not going to say names, but just think male lead. He's like, you're a twat.
You little bitch.
Roman, thanks for being here.
Oh,
Delightful Roman.
Please come back.
Please do. Please do. We want to end this run of producing. Phoebe loved us. Where's Phoebe?
She's doing her other job, isn't she?
Oh, God. She's flying high with all the other podcasts she's doing.
Yeah, she is.
It's like every single producer doesn't want us. But Roman, you've been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Why, thank you.
And Lauren, bless you. I'm not making a joke. I'm not making like.
Oh, I
it
knew.
is actually very sad. You were the first person I thought of.
Oh, I know. It's nice to have that impact when
Well,
people
I think
see...
it's the same if Adele died.
Oh my God! Or anything bad happened to her, you'd just get the text.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad. I've never been in this situation either before, where someone's died who's famous and you're distraught. I bet loads of people have actually.
Victoria Wood, a little bit.
Yeah.
Not
I don't think I fully cried. Maybe I cried actually when Bowie died, but only when I listened to a song on the way home, and I really just his legacy. It was more about his legacy, and he was younger as well, so that was and Victoria Wood obviously was poorly. But yeah, weird for that to happen. So Fab Lifers, if you've got a famous celeb, DM us. Yeah. Who's died and who's your icon? Yeah, we always love to hear about icons, all that jazz.
We do.
We share a lot of similar icons with our listeners, I think.
Ange will be in your dinner party, your dinner
party,
fantasy dinner
and
party.
I'm thinking
dead or
we
alive.
Need to find 100%.
Oh, that reminds me of someone once said, who would you have round for dinner as a guest, dead or alive? And someone goes, Nigel Farage, dead. Sorry, go on.
We need to find a Halloween party we can go to, because I want to go as Eglantine from Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Right, okay.
Because I basically got the whole outfit, 'cause it's wartime chic.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I just need a broomstick and a bed knob.
Okay.
And Freddie can be Mr. Brown, he just needs a thin moustache.
Oh,
played by David Tomlinson out of Mary Poppins.
Oh, lovely.
You know, the dad.
Oh, yeah.
That's who's the male lead in that.
What will I go as?
The knob.
The knob. Oh, she got there just before I did.
Just have to buff your face. Spray your gold.
Oh, all right. Well, this has been episode 33. Right. It has been dedicated to the life and career of a true dame. And that's me, guys. Thank you so much. I'm back, everyone. No, it's been dedicated to the true Broadway icon. That is the one and only Dame Angela Lansbury.
Cheers.
And that
to you.
Is a tale as old as time. Thank you.
Oh my God. Well, see us next week as well, where we'll be not crying on Fab Life with
Lauren and Lee.
Oh, got such an itchy head with this hand.
Lovely stuff.